No.
You want Dwight Howard also?
Stop it.
Who else has played center for Washington that you're going to pick the names out of?
We definitely don't want Dwight Howard.
Oh, I know you don't want Dwight Howard again.
We definitely don't want him. He's not welcome. He's
not
welcome.
That was a great
He's not welcome.
That was a great year for me.
He's not welcome. I can't believe I'm sick. I'm so sick. Oh, that year was awful.
All right. I've had enough fun going at the Lakers. Let's jump on to our fourth quarter.
Let's go, man.
Where we're just going to talk about resting players. Just a chill conversation. What do we think about resting players this early in the season? So you had said something about the way they're scheduling things.
Yeah, I mean, I know Adam Silver's done better with scheduling less back-to-backs and 3 and 5 nights.
4 and 5.
4 and 5 nights, I mean. So I think that's a start, but I don't see any.
They started the NBA season earlier. They cut down the preseason
Right.
So that they could start the season earlier so that they could do those things where there's less back-to-backs. But even in the first 2.5 weeks of the NBA season, there's been a lot of back-to-backs. Yep. I don't know the number that each team should have, but it seems like there's been a lot of back-to-backs for a lot of teams.
You're right.
But there's no 4 games in 5 nights, which is really the bigger thing. I think you should be able to play. I don't play basketball professionally, semi-professionally. I don't know what 30 minutes a night of basketball is like. I can't say that I do.
Well, in today's NBA, it's especially important because it's so up down.
Right,
I mean,
but
my goodness.
You know, if I get on I can get on the treadmill or elliptical for 30 minutes a night or 30 minutes a day.
It's a different.
It's not even close. No.
I'm playing.
I
know this, but again, I think 4 games in 5 nights. That's when it's like, oh my gosh, you play a back-to-back, take a day off, and play another back-to-back. I'm so glad they've gotten rid of that.
It's that and just travel, too. You got to travel to another city. You're like, oh, my God.
So, how do we feel about resting players, a.k.a. the thing the Spurs perfected? Spurs were the first one to do this with Tim Duncan when they were just...
Well, you know what? I think when they were doing it with Duncan, I actually think there were legit injury concerns. Now people just rest and call it... What do you call it now?
I'm pretty sure Popovich...
Personal.
Personal reasons, come on.
I'm pretty sure Popovich was the one that said we're resting them.
No, I know, but obviously Tim Duncan has knee problems.
Well, because you don't want them to get injured. That's why you're resting them. It's hopefully not just like you want to go. You want to go see this movie with your kids that night, so you're taking a night of rest. Like that's not what it is. But it's all precautionary rest.
Yeah. But I thought it was a problem though because especially if you have a home game. And you're like, or in my opinion, even if you expect someone's coming to your town, right? LeBron comes to Dallas. I want to see LeBron. I paid money to go see LeBron.
Tickets? How much are those tickets?
I don't want to talk about it on that.
No. How much are those tickets?
For LeBron?
Yeah, to see LeBron.
Nosebleeds are $100.
So nosebleeds are $100.
Yeah.
For not LeBron.
Right.
Tickets are like
$30,
$40.
Right. So
nosebleeds.
I'm gonna tickets in Boston for regular games. Let's say balcony. I'm not gonna say nosebleeds because I spent the money on it and I don't want to talk about it. Let's say to go see the Clippers.
Yeah.
Okay, those tickets are $75. Okay. To go see LeBron, those tickets are $400. If LeBron takes that night to rest, and I as a fan have spent the money to travel to Boston to see this game, and LeBron decides I'm not going, that's...
I know. That's the problem.
So let me shift it. If Kawhi Leonard, who's been playing like an MVP, is going to be coming to your town and hasn't played a single away game, is it not similar? You can say no. I'm asking a question. There was a question mark at the end of that, which requires an answer.
Here's I understand what you're saying. Here's a real question you're asking: is Kawhi Leonard box office? Is that a guy?
Yes.
Hang on, wait. Listen what I'm saying. Is that a guy when you go to the game, you go, man, I want to take a picture with Kawhi Leonard after the game. That would be awesome if I got to talk to him and watch him play, and I will remember this for the rest of my life.
The watching him play part, nobody wants to talk to him.
I'm just saying. But LeBron, you'd be like, man, I love to meet him. I love to talk to him. Love to take a picture. Box office.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by box office.
Look. If I'm paying for a basketball ticket, I want to go watch a basketball game. He's just a person. He's not.
But that's not what box office is what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. That's the problem with this resting of players.
Okay.
Like these box office guys cannot rest so many games. I think, in my opinion,
our definition of box office is different. Gotcha. For me, I absolutely, especially Kawhi, who I think is second in MVP right now.
Yes,
this is a different topic that we're not doing this week. I think Kawhi right now is playing as the number 2 candidate for MVP. Unfortunately, your guy has been injured, so he's not quite up there. He's in the conversation, but if Kawhi was coming here and I was a Mavs fan, I would be like, I want to go see Kawhi. That'd be awesome to go watch that game.
January 27th.
There you go. See, a Mavericks fan knows if Kawhi doesn't make that trip and he's already bought the tickets.
Because I'm with us, of course, we agree that he's. I'm talking about to the general public. Do they view Kawhi Leonard as box office?
Do they know what? I mean, I guess they have.
I'm just telling. In today's NBA, with social media and all this stuff, is he considered box office?
I feel like the answer would be yes.
Yeah. So that's just my question.
I feel like the answer would be yes to that. But the whole resting players thing, I get it. You don't want your star players who play 36 minutes a night, LeBron James. Right. You don't want them to get injured over an 82-game season. That's a lot of minutes.
You're right.
So resting them from time to time is okay, but when it comes down to it, it is an entertainment business.
Exactly.
So like the people like us that are paying to go see them, we're the ones that suffer from that. Again, if LeBron doesn't play February 7th in Boston, we're going to have a big...
He about to lose it.
Big issue. Okay? And that's right before the All-Star game. A lot of people are going to be resting around that time. So.
Let me offer a solution. Just going to throw this out there, okay? Here is my potential solution as far as getting rid of this resting players. Ready for this? Back-to-backs. Okay? If a back-to-back is going on and that team is on the road, you cannot categorize that player as just rest for the reason of sitting him. There has to be an injury where like there's a doctor that's seen that injury happen.
But if your team doctor is like, yeah, he has this injury.
Right. Which they need to report then to the NBA central office. And if it's an issue, then you fine them. Or you take away draft picks. Just like you do with the NFL right now. That's why they took away, the probable thing where it's just, questionable so far into the week and stuff like that. They took that away because they were like, no, teams need to be very forthcoming about what's his injury. And he go. It's like concussion protocol. You want to make sure your players are staying safe, right? Mm-hmm. So not only does this keep things safe, it also protects your bottom line.
How can they enforce that?
Right.
Like I just said, if it's an injury, right? You put it as an injury. You don't put it as rest, which is what we're seeing right now.
What would have to count as an injury? For example,
a knee, an ankle. I want
For example, if Gordon Hayward, if they're playing a back-to-back on the road, and Gordon Hayward says that after each game his ankle is, are we calling that an injury or is he sore?
That ankle soreness is different because there's a history of he's had an ankle injury before he broke his ankle. There's a history there. If Jimmy Butler just comes up and says, I don't want to play on Wednesday, and you don't have a history
for the following game?
You know what? I'll go that far.
If it's his decision, he should be suspended by the team. If it's the team's decision, they should be fined by the league.
Right. I'm good with that.
It all is just going to come down to that subjective. And if a team says, hey, Jason Tatum's elbow from shooting so many shots, he's feeling.
I hear you. I'm talking about protecting the bottom line because it's starting to be an issue, right? All the teams are starting to rest players, and then people watching the NBA are going, NFL is on, or something else is on. They have other things to do, man. You got to protect your ratings and your bottom line.
I get it, but that's true. But I mean, let's say, for example, you're playing New York, and then you play Toronto the next game. from a basketball perspective, you're not overlooking New York, but you would most likely want to. Okay, hey.
That's fine. Then only play him
But
a few minutes.
Not gonna do that. They're gonna rest him. That's what Popovich
This
perfected.
is a whole different mindset.
It's a whole different
I get
mindset.
that, but the problem is when the whole league is doing it, that isn't a problem. That's an issue.
I agree.
To the NBA consumer.
You couldn't, to your point, you couldn't just do like some preseason thing. NFL preseason. They come out, they do 2 or 3 series, they're done.
Yeah.
I mean, the player couldn't just be like, hey, I'm here, I'm starting, boop, 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 there's my 6 points, boom.
That's what I would say. Or here's my other suggestion. Ready for this? Cut down the regular season.
No, okay, anyway.
Wait. Hear me out. Cut down the regular season. Cut down preseason also. Hang on. Wait.
Don't say it.
Extend the playoffs.
No, what?
So
That
what?
doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense.
Extend the playoff to what?
I mean, you can extend this to even do this like a wild card style like they do in baseball. Where
Dislike.
yes.
Dislike.
Why not?
Because then
it's must-see TV.
there's going to wind up being first round of Celtics-Lakers, and I don't want to see that.
No, I'm not saying they'll put them all together, they're 1 through. I'm not saying that. I don't agree with that. I'm talking about, like, let's say your 9-10 seeds make it, right? All of a sudden they got to have a playoff between each other. Who goes, to play the Western Conference, blah, 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 blah.
But if that's going to if you're going to extend the postseason, then why not just keep the regular season the same?
But it gives your players some time to rest before they play those other games. I'm just saying.
Here's the
it's
reason.
must-see TV.
Here's the reason the NBA season will not be cutting back. The way that it's scheduled right now is every NBA team plays every team in their conference 4 times a season, and they play every team in the other conference 2 times. That adds up to 82 games.
I hear you.
That's not going to change.
I'm just offering to shoot because I'm saying 9 and 10. We know how loaded. Hang on, we know how loaded the Western Conference is, right? You're telling me the 9 and 10 seed aren't going to be good teams?
They won't compete with the Warriors, but that's
Nobody, stop it! You can't. That can't be your argument. Nobody's going to compete with the Warriors this year. Nobody.
In the West, you're absolutely right.
No, this year, it's not going to happen.
In the West, you're right.
They won
I
the
think there's a
championship.
couple teams
They
that
won
are a
the
little far
championship.
out in the West.
They won the championship.
In the West.
Y'all gotta worry about Toronto. So
No, we
don't
don't have
talk
to worry
to me
about anybody.
Don't worry. Don't talk to me till you get your own conference fixed. Don't worry about it.
We don't have to worry about Toronto.
Yes, you do.
Nah,
Yes, you do.
I'm not worried. I'm not worrying
Yes, you
anything
do.
about Toronto.
Yes, you do.
I think there are. I think the 2 teams, even this past week, have further proven how far ahead of everyone they are. Even though Milwaukee is the only unbeaten team, we'll see. The Celtics and Celtics and Bucks play the Thursday night.
Okay.
So
this Thursday?
Yep.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
Oh.
I didn't
So-
know I'm gonna watch that
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
watch that
okay.
one.
My man, nice
that's
plug
that's
right
coming out
there.
very
I got
soon.
Is
you.
Giannis coming back? Is Giannis
Yep.
back?
Yeah,
Giannis
he's
is
out of
back.
concussion protocol.
Cool.
That will
Good.
be it'll be a game to watch.
I'll definitely watch
As
it.
we said on our What to Watch last week, these guys just don't remember it.
I just think there's got to be a solution to this resting of players, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem. People are starting to complain.
Yeah. But, the biggest thing is, enforcing it and teams trying to wiggle. So, but that's the biggest thing. But I agree. I don't like it. I'd be, as a fan.
Especially in the first 20 games.
Yeah, right now it's like, unless it's like a legitimate, okay, he had surgery.
Right, like Gordon
I get
Hayward, I was like, fine, understand.
Yeah.
Completely understand.
So how do you really feel about Kawhi's rest? Should Kawhi be resting?
To be honest, I don't think so. With a year off?
Right. Yeah. It's very interesting that he's had to rest on both of their away games. Yeah. Again, I don't think there's no like underlying story behind it.
Right. But if you're Toronto, if you can get away with resting him and still win, why not?
Yeah.
Also, he's setting himself up so that when the San Antonio game comes, it's nothing different. He never travels out of Canada. So that's all the 17-16 that we have for you guys this week. I got to sneak it in there right at the end. This week we'll hopefully have some more storylines that we'll have a show for next week. As a quick little plug, if you're watching the show, make sure you check out our What to Watch. Make sure you check out our review, our preview, our top plays. Thank you, Lamar. Thank you, Jeremy. Who's winning tonight?
Lakers. All day. In LA and Staples?
Yep.
You really believe that?
Yep.
Oh, you give me dinner. I hope you're ready.
Lakers by how many?
Oh, it would be close because both our defenses are trash.
Mavericks by how many?
5.
Lakers by how?
Luka's gonna have 30 points. Right.
Oh, that's not, anybody can get 30 these days. I say Lakers by 6.
I got Lakers by 8.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you
I'm sorry.
can't wait till next week.
Anyway,
Dinner's gonna be sweet. Come on, Jesus.
Anyway, check us out on all social media at 1716 Hoops. Thank you guys so much for checking out our video and our audio. I will learn how to speak one day.
You're good, man.
Until then, see y'all later.